What's going on, guys? It's Team Master 101. And yeah, today's video is just gonna be a bit different than usually. I'll probably hardly do any editing for this. It's already a short video. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know if I was gonna like do a video on, talk about this in a video or not. Because, I feel like with this subject, it's just like, I wanna have a better editing and all that, all the other stuff. I just don't have it. I just, I want to do something special for this type, but yeah. So I got the news last night about Akira Toriyama passing away, and it was while I was at work. Of course, it had to be while I was at work. But at least today I'm off. But yeah, I wasn't gonna make any video, and yeah, it just hits hard. And as you see, I have a lot of high levels in this match. So this would have been a normal match. It would have been a good match for once, because I've been getting a lot of lower levels, maybe a few high levels within my games, but this would have been a great match. But yeah, this is straight after coming from work, and then work I kept it together, but I was really wanting to like post something up. But yeah, I just was, as you can see with my name, I even did that. But I just wasn't fully there. I wasn't like, and it's crazy how much this is really hitting hard. And I've done all my crying, I probably won't cry during this video because I've done a lot of it today, last night and today. And you know what? I'm not even ashamed to admit that. I've shed some tears. I didn't bawl or anything like that, obviously, but I definitely, like, I let it out. I didn't, it's one of those things.
What is this place?
Cause you just don't understand how much I love Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball. Just love it. It's just like, I could go on about what it means to me, what it means to all of us as Dragon Ball fans. And I saw some of the people who in this community, they're not everyone, is huge Dragon Ball fans compared to, something like that. I am way beyond just this game. I didn't come through that. I definitely didn't come through. I knew it ever since I was a kid. And I was like, I was at the stage basically where I was young enough. I wasn't as old as the generation, as my older brother, because my older brother got me into Dragon Ball. So, he was at the age where he could watch it on Tsunami, and I was aware of things going, but I didn't know about, channels like that. But he's the one who showed me, got me into it. Then we started with Budokai, the Budokai series, and from there we just played games. We played a lot of the games, and then I didn't really like watch or read any of the manga or series fully until I was like a teenager, where I can finally like do it on my own. And during that time, the internet was getting, it was like what the internet is today, it was like that was the starting point where the internet was getting very more advanced, like before it got to this point, but it was starting to change. That's when the internet was starting to become more and more of a thing. So I was able to watch it online. And even then, it was still like, wasn't fully like it was today, where you could easily like even pirate or if you want. But it's like, being a teenager, not having a job, I couldn't get on sites like Funimation or anything like that. Anyway, but yeah, a lot of my teenage years, I started reading. I went back and I read the manga for the first time, which is definitely an experience for itself. So when I was a teenager, like 13, probably 11, 13. I was like 13 years old, and I went to the library and they had a lot of the volumes, and so I think I read for the Blue Saga, and then I just said, let me start over, and I went all the way back to the original Dragon Ball manga, which was shockingly, and being 13, I'm at that stage. But anyway, that's not here and there. But yeah, it's like ever since I was a kid, we played the games, seen scenes, stuff like that. So Dragon Ball really does mean a lot to me, and like I said, obviously it made an impact enough, even though I never watched it fully as a kid. Playing the games and stuff like that, it obviously made an impact in my life enough for me to when I got old enough, I was able, I got back, it's always been around my life, so it's not like it's ever left. But as far as me fully getting into it and watching and reading the manga and stuff like that, it was just, yeah, it was just one of those things.
Look at this color. Is it not beautiful?
And so yeah, Dragon Ball has been a part of my life for most of my life basically. So yeah, the news hit hard, and yeah, obviously something like this, it was always going to hit
Shall we
hard.
strike?
It was always going to be something
Zamasu?
like that with
Of
this news, but
course.
you never know how
Zamasu.
hard it's really going to hit you until it happens. And then you realize how much he really did. When I was a teenager and I really got into it, I was obsessed with Dragon Ball Z. I love it. I love Dragon Ball Z. I really love it. It's like, it's my favorite thing. And I'm just like a lot of those other people who, this was my first anime before I even knew what anime was. That's what Dragon Ball has been to a lot of people in the Western, area, and it's just, yeah, Akira Toriyama, man, it still hit. I still feel the weight on my chest. It's just it's unbelievable. I can't stand it, and I just can't believe this has really happened. Cause you just don't understand how much Akira Toriyama really means to you as a creator. For this, he's done so much for a lot of people. But yeah, as you see, I mean, I was doing alright during the game, but it's like, once it got to a certain point, like I said, I wasn't paying fully attention to the area. In this moment, I thought I would be okay after work, come home, play this, maybe get the Raider and be fine with playing right now, but as I was going through it, like right now in this moment, I just didn't care. I wasn't fully there. It was just like, I felt weak. I didn't even care about losing. I wasn't even on my game. It was a bad idea to try to play this game during this time and although yeah, I've gotten a lot of the crying out, or a lot of the tears out, I'm a lot better. I did watch some Dragon Ball episodes today with my girlfriend, which it definitely helped. Like I said, I feel like, not to put her on the spot or anything, but she was thinking that, oh, maybe shouldn't watch it. No, me watching Dragon Ball, me reading it, or trying to, I look at that more as, that's me honoring Akira Toriyama, rather than not watching it and be more sad. So yeah, just watching or reading the show is going to be enough for me to just be like, yeah, I want to watch. And so yeah, so I just wasn't on my game, and I really wanted, got high levels for once, probably because of the news. But this would have been a great game, but honestly, it just didn't matter to me. And yeah, I just wasn't on my game, as you can see. I didn't care to be the best because the news just hit so hard. I really can't thank Akira Toriyama enough for making this universe, so we can eventually have a game like this and all the other games and series and all the other things that he has done. All the imagination. It's just, like I said, there's so much I can say that I can't put in one sitting. You know what I'm saying? There's just so much I would want to say. There's so much we can't even think of the words of putting it all together, of what series like this means to me and people like me, and what it meant to a lot of people growing up. And so yeah, it's like, during those times I was a kid, so I didn't experience the bullying part of anime part, but like I said, this moment I didn't even care about getting hit. Yeah, it sucks to lose, and I was feeling it a little bit, but it's like the pain of knowing Akira Toriyama is gone outweighed any of the loss that I got with this game. And so yeah, I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. It was just, you really don't know. Like I said, it was like, when I was a teenager, like my dad, we were in the religious, I don't want to get into it, but Jehovah's Witness. I'm not gonna get too much into that because that's definitely a personal thing, and so he found out about the things that are in Dragon Ball that are like more with the Mr. Satan name and stuff like that in Otherworld that don't quite believe in. And so when it came to that, my dad was extra strict a little bit about, he was trying, but he's not very good at it type deal. But basically, since that, I couldn't watch Dragon Ball in my house. I couldn't do anything Dragon Ball related because I had to be sneaky. But eventually, being a teenager, I said, screw that. I end up re-getting some of my seasons, watching it sneakily, and sometimes do it with my brother. And so yeah, for those few years, I had to watch Dragon Ball sneakily, but that just made me want it even more so. That just made me want to watch, read, or do anything Dragon Ball even more so than I did before. And so during those years, despite all that, I look at that like, yeah, that time period where I really I was excessive, I guess you could say, but I really loved this series. I loved the music, and like I said, at first, I was definitely pure Bruce Falconer. I was pure Bruce Falconer, and stubborn about the Kai and all that other stuff. But eventually, over time, I started, I spread my horizon about, and like I said, eventually reading mangas and stuff like that. Eventually, it started getting me into other anime, other series like One Piece and stuff like that. It really is. So there's so much that this series does mean to me that yeah, this is really heartbreaking. And it's just like you can't thank Akira Toriyama enough. This series, so many moments, so many lessons. I know people say, I know Dragon Ball isn't the most complex, but honestly, it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be this. Not everything needs to be this complex story for it to be great, for it to mean something, Dragon Ball has its lessons. It has its lessons. Anyway, it's definitely getting towards the end of this video. At this part, yeah, I was just so down about it at this point that I was so down at this point I didn't even care to exit out because it was just like I just felt it real. Rest in peace to the legend Akira Toriyama. It's like I look at I got my manga and all that stuff, and I look at that now and it's just it weighs a heavy burden. Rest in peace just doesn't cut it. Stay strong, my friends. Stay strong. We will get through this.